The year is 900. A world in fragments. Rome has fallen. Charlemagne's empire shattered. In Britain, Anglo-Saxons build a nation, while Slavic tribes worship thunder gods in eastern forests. Baghdad's caliphate crumbles as Cairo rises. China drowns in warlord chaos. Yet Constantinople stands eternal, its walls unbreached. Hagia Sophia gleaming, the Roman legacy alive. From Greenland's ice to China's markets, everything will change. This is the 10th century. Eric the Red, exiled murderer turned explorer, sailed west and established the first European settlement in the Western Hemisphere. His son Leif now stares across the Atlantic, dreaming of lands beyond the horizon. Around 1000 AD, Leif Eriksson's longship reached shores no European had ever seen. Vinland, land of forests and wild grapes. 5 centuries before Columbus, Vikings built settlements on Newfoundland's coast. But the native Skrellings resisted. Confrontations turned violent, and the tiny colony could not survive. Within years, the Vikings abandoned their American foothold, loading ships and sailing home. The forest reclaimed their buildings. Vinland became legend, history's greatest might have been. Prince Vladimir of Kiev worshipped Perun, the thunder god, with blood sacrifice and sacred fire. Seeking alliance with great powers, he sent envoys to study the world's religions. Islam forbade alcohol. Judaism offered no homeland. Then his envoys entered Hagia Sophia. Golden mosaics blazed, incense swirled through heavenly light. They knew not whether they were in heaven or earth. Vladimir was baptized in the Orthodox faith and married the Byzantine emperor's sister. Russia's transformation had begun. In 988, the great idol of Perun was dragged through Kiev streets and cast into the Dnieper, never to rise again. Thousands waded into the river for mass baptism, soldiers watching from the banks with drawn swords. Churches rose where sacred groves once stood. Monks taught the Cyrillic alphabet, giving Slavs their written language. A line was drawn across Europe: Catholic West, Orthodox East. Vladimir's choice would shape Russia for 1,000 years. In Aachene's chapel, young Otto received Germany's crown, already dreaming of Rome and empire. He crushed rebellious dukes with merciless efficiency. Even his own brother and son, defeated nobles paraded in chains. Then Otto embraced the church, appointing bishops as administrators, binding clergy to crown forever. For 50 years, Magyar horsemen had terrorized Europe. In 955 at Lechfeld, Otto's armored knights crushed them forever. Otto rode from that bloody field as the savior of Christian civilization. The path to empire lay open. On February 2, 962, Pope John XII crowned Otto as Roman Emperor in St. Peter's Basilica. The Holy Roman Empire was born, a union of Germanic might and Christian faith that would endure for 800 years. Alfred the Great saved England. His grandson Athelstan would unite it. In 927, York Fallon Viking, Urals knelt before him, one king, ruling all the English for the first time. Athelstan was proclaimed King of the English. A nation was born. At Brunanburh, in 937, his shield wall crushed Vikings, Scots, and Irish. 5 kings lay dead. England was forged in blood. The ravens grew fat on the fallen. England emerged from Brunanburh as one nation, one crown, forever. Under King Edgar the Peaceful, England flourished. Trade grew, monasteries produced masterpieces. In 973, Edgar staged a coronation at Bath so magnificent it became the template for all British coronations. 8 kings rode his barge in submission. But on the horizon, Danish longships watched. The peace would not last.
Let it be
While Europe stumbled through darkness, Cordoba blazed with light. In 929, ABD Al-Rahman III declared himself Caliph. 500,000 people walked paved streets, lit by oil lamp centuries before London knew such luxury. Public baths, running water, aqueducts, this was civilization at its peak. The Great Mosque rose as a forest of red and white arches, one of humanity's most beautiful buildings. 400,000 manuscripts filled Cordoba's library, more than all Christian Europe combined. Muslims, Christians, and Jews worked together in remarkable convivial, living together in harmony. At its peak, Al-Mansur sacked Santiago de Compostela, carrying church bells home as trophies. In 909, revolution swept North Africa. The Fatimid Shia Muslims, claiming descent from the Prophet's daughter, rose to power. Their green banners spread across the desert, driven by dreams of the hidden Imam and perfect justice. In 969, they conquered Egypt and built a new capital, Al-Qahira, Cairo the Victorious. At its heart rose Al-Azhar, the world's oldest functioning university, still teaching today. Fatimid ships controlled Red Sea trade, their gold coins becoming Mediterranean currency. 3 caliphates now claimed leadership: Baghdad, Cordoba, Cairo. The Islamic world divided, yet each fragment brilliant. China had drowned in chaos for 50 years. In 960, soldiers draped the yellow robe over General Zhao, proclaiming him emperor. Instead of warfare, he invited rival generals to a banquet offering golden estates for peaceful retirement. They accepted. The sword gave way to the scholar's brush. China's greatest age of innovation began. Imperial examinations chose officials by merit, not birth. A peasant's son could govern provinces. Movable type printing produced books by thousands. Gunpowder became rockets and fire lances. The magnetic compass freed sailors from coastlines. Paper money replaced heavy coins. Kaifeng grew to 1 million people, the world's largest city, bustling with merchants and scholars. Yet as Song civilization peaked, military walls went unrepaired. Distant nomad horsemen watched from the horizon. Young Basil II inherited Byzantium's throne as a child, then Sirius, surrounded by scheming generals who held real power. For years he was a puppet, but slowly, the frightened boy transformed into something terrifying. Basil's vengeance was complete. Rebellious aristocrats were executed, their estates confiscated and redistributed. Unlike pampered predecessors, Basil lived as soldiers lived, sleeping on ground, eating camp rations. His target was Bulgaria. For 40 years he waged relentless war, burning cities, deporting populations. Annihilation, not glory. In 1014 at Cledion, Basil achieved his masterpiece. 15,000 Bulgarian prisoners were captured. He ordered them all, blinded, leaving 1 in every 100, with a single eye to guide the rest home. When Tsar Samuel saw his ruined army stumbling back, he collapsed dead. Basil became the Bulgar slayer. The Byzantine Empire reached its greatest extent, but when Basil died in 1025, this was the empire's final peak. Across Europe, the old gods died. One by one, pagan kingdoms fell to the cross. In 966, Duke Mieszko of Poland accepted baptism. Christian Poland was born. In Hungary, King Stephen crushed pagan rebellions, tearing down horse totems, raising churches. Stephen became a saint, father of Christian Hungary. The transformation was complete. Harald Bluetooth raised Denmark's Jelling stone, proclaiming he had made the Danes Christian. Norway chose baptism or death, but Iceland voted peacefully at their ancient parliament to accept the new faith. By 1000, only Baltic pagans remained. From Ireland to Russia, church bells rang across a unified Christian civilization. The church that converted Europe was often unworthy. Bishoprics were bought, priests kept wives, monasteries became noble clubs. In 910, Duke William of Aquitaine founded Cluny with a revolutionary clause answering only to the Pope himself.
Free from corruption, Cluny's monks pursued genuine devotion with perfect discipline. They rose before dawn, lived in silence, followed Saint Benedict's rule, as it was meant to be lived.
Within a century, over 1,000 monasteries joined the Cluniac reform, spreading across Europe like fire. The abbots of Cluny advised popes, counseled kings, rebuked emperors. A single monastery became Christendom's conscience. England had grown complacent. In 980, the nightmare returned a professional Danish royal army, not mere raiders. King Tellard the Unready, surrounded by fools and traitors, could form no effective response. His solution was Danegeld, massive silver payments. The Danes took the money and came back for more. Then Tellard ordered the massacre of all Danes in England. Among the dead was King Sweyn Forkbeard's sister. Revenge was coming. Sweyn Forkbeard came for a kingdom. Year after year, English towns burned and surrendered. In 1013, Tellard fled to Normandy, while English nobles proclaimed Sweyn king, a century of nation-building erased. Sweyn died weeks later, but his son Canute would complete the conquest. Under Danish raven banners, Alfred the Great's legacy grew dim. The century ended in English defeat and humiliation. The 10th century world was more connected than we imagine. Ideas and goods flowed across continents. Viking longships carried furs and slaves from Scandinavia to Constantinople, returning with silk and silver. Fatimid dhows sailed between Egypt and India. Chinese junks explored Southeast Asia. Caravans trudged the Silk Road. Chinese artisans perfected porcelain while military engineers created the world's first gunpowder weapons. The magnetic compass freed navigation. Paper money replaced coins. These inventions would eventually transform the world. Even backward Europe innovated the heavy plow and horse collar, broke thick northern soils for the first time. Water mills multiplied slowly, steadily. The foundations of medieval prosperity were being laid. As year 1000 approached, fear gripped the Christian world. Was this the end of days promised in Revelation? Comets blazed, earthquakes shook cities. Pilgrims crowded roads to Jerusalem. Confession lines stretched for miles. Some historians debate how widespread the panic truly was. Peasants still planted fields. Merchants still traded. Then January 1st, 1000 dawned and nothing happened. Relief transformed into wild optimism. A construction boom followed. Romanesque churches rose everywhere. Towns grew. Markets expanded. The world had clothed itself in a white mantle of churches. Medieval civilization was ready to grow. The 10th century planted seeds. The 11th would harvest storms. Emperor and Pope would soon tear Europe apart. In Normandy, Viking descendants became French lords preparing for conquest. 1066 was approaching. In Kiev and Rus, Vladimir's heirs began quarreling. Far beyond the steppes, the Mongols were stirring. Cairo and Kaifeng stood at their peak, unaware the same Mongol storm would eventually engulf them both. Constantinople seemed eternal, but 1453 was already written. Cordoba would fragment as Christian armies advanced. Nothing lasts forever. But what passes does not pass entirely. Seeds falling from dying trees find fertile soil. Vikings became Norman knights and Russian princes. The Book House of Cordoba would feed the Renaissance. History rhymes. In 900, Europe was a backwater. By 1000, it was becoming a civilization. England unified. Germany became an empire. Poland, Hungary, Denmark joined Christian nations. 3 caliphates divided Islam, yet Cordoba's libraries and Cairo's Al-Azhar preserved cultural brilliance. Song China pioneered technologies that would transform the planet. The world of 1000 made our world possible. The 10th century was history's hinge: feudal castles, cathedrals, monasteries. The patterns established here endured centuries. Nations born then still exist today. Turn the page, the next century waits. History continues.